Hey guys, oh sorry about that. My throat really started dying there towards the end. What do we type in Hadjet before? What's that mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
Elazer typed it first.
All right. So we got 2 more codes to give away, but what I'm gonna do actually is save these for later tonight. So these are the last 2 things I really have to give away, other than drop zone closed beta keys, which I got a ton of. So what we're gonna do is we'll save these 2. So I got Twitch Turbo code and Heroes of the Storm Falls skin. We'll give these away for the Elima League cast later tonight. Sorry, my throat's really not doing so good. Holding up here towards the end, guys. But okay, whenever the players are ready, we'll get started. It's going to begin on Dawson Station. It's a best of 5, not a best of 3. And this will be the winners / finals match of this week's Corsair Cup. It's great to have you guys all tuning in, though, and I'm really excited for some of the more stuff we have coming up this week. Namely, the temporary team league should be starting shortly.
Thursday.
Thursday.
So tomorrow we're casting the Elima League. Yay! And then I'm getting a haircut. I'm going to go full blonde again.
Yay! I'm actually really glad to hear that. I think you look fantastic as blonde.
Yeah, you and everyone else, and that's kind of why I'm doing it. I like myself blonde too. It's not like I'm caving to peer pressure, but I don't think
Just don't go like. Yeah, you know what? There's a fad right now where a lot of girls are going green, and I don't think green. A lot of people can't pull off
I
green.
hate color green. I even like the really cute girls. You know, I don't think green's a great hair color. Anyway, or cute guys, I guess. Guys can dye their hair too.
Yeah, it's 2016.
Quality.
We can vote too, believe it or not. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the grand finals of this week's Corsair Cup. Make sure to check out the links down below. Make sure to give Corsair some love and let them know that you've been enjoying that. Again, it's almost 1 full year they've been investing in StarCraft 2 / BaseTradeTV. Spawning the bottom right side, though, it is going to be the red Zerg player, Uranix Gaming's Nerchio.
And top left, as the yellow Zerg, he is Elazer.
So difference in builds to start, certainly, with a pull first coming out of Elazer, but Nerchio not only go for a hatchery first, he's doing it at the gold. And I guess you could argue in a ZvZ of all matchups, this would be the one that like you're going to be defending the same way for. A lot of the reasons you don't like taking this versus other races is it's so easy to plop an Adept or Marine on this side of the mineral line and be like, neener, neener, boo-boo, you can't do anything about it. But ZvZ, it's not going to be a queen around that side of the map for a long time. Lings versus Lings, fighting around these chokes. I think if you handle yourself correctly, you can get away with this.
It is like... I feel like it's almost mind-gaming, might not be the right word. Basically, what can happen is you predict them to go for, like, early pools. And then things, I guess, go poorly, so that probably wouldn't be a reason to go for gold base. But you could think that they're not going to go for an early pool, because if you take the natural, then you only have to defend 1 ramp, and that might be easy enough to do. Certainly we've seen that situation happen, so you think they're not going to go for an early pool, so you get the gold base, but I don't know, like that would have been really risky. No one's going for an early pool though, and they're just going for pretty early Roach Warrens, which is, I think, the way that Dawson Station just has to go.
I think
Even if you go for an early pool, you just go for like the non-speed version and follow up with roaches.
Well, I think a part of why you want the roaches more than anything else is, okay, obviously they're easier and different to fight with than Lings, but on top of that, just taking that one step further, you got the potential of Ravagers. We've seen one Ravager shut down an entire gold base before. That's why Nerchio is very quickly getting on top of these rocks too. He wants to be able to break through and deal with that if that's going to be the case. Elazer not quite the same situation, but either way, despite going to roaches first, yeah, there we go. He's going to walk around the outside of the map, expecting precisely that to happen.
Yeah.
So it's as I described earlier, it's still a possibility to happen, but it comes at a much later timing than other races would be.
Especially if this is a normal ZvZ too. You know, like by the time they've gone the Ling, Baneling thing and they got to the Roach Ravager thing, it's usually way farther down the road. But a lot more often you see quick roaches. And a lot of different matchups with Zerg on this map, so...
Unfortunately, not only do you have to micro away from the Corsair Bile, the auto attack is pretty nasty too. Nerchio going to work the best he can to take down these rocks, but it'll be some time before he can. And there's just no better way around this. Like, you can't come through this side either. You have to break those rocks, and this is the danger of taking the space. I love Elazer doing this, by the way. This was almost, I think, blind out of him. Like, you could have not scouted this, probably done the same thing, and it yielded the same results.
Well, this is some really... I mean, Nerchio's gonna try and get revenge right now, but...
Ravager's up to 6
Oh,
kills.
shit!
And he's gonna get a queen.
Yo, but Nerchio's Ravager Corrosive Bile shot was totally unexpected.
Yeah, we put a lot of focus
Lasers,
over
all
here.
types of clumped up on that one mineral patch.
But okay, so you lose 5 workers, but at the same time, Nerchio lost an entire mineral line worth of mining for a lot longer than Elazer did. Nerchio lost quite a few army units for it too. But I guess at the end of the day, at the end of the day, 5 workers kill is pretty nice. I think for Elazer though, it's not exactly too much worse for wear. I'm gonna check the income graph though, and yeah, confirm that that's the case. It's not so bad for him.
It still is like something Nerchio definitely needed to do, and it's just funny that he got it in like 1 shot and then left. I did my job here, and then I'm gonna leave. Anyway, so this has gone to Roach versus Roach, and that's about to be as expected. And I'll see if this actually gets to even a 3rd base for either one of them. The thing about Dasson Station that makes it so wonky in any matchup is that the defender's advantage kind of doesn't exist. Like, okay, you can have your spine crawler, and that's only going to be at your home. That's true. But as soon as you defend, you have to
that was clever.
attack. As soon as you attack, you have to defend.
That was so clever out of Elazer. I like that. Nerchio also very clever to target the low health roaches in the back of the Corrosive Biles, but canceling and saying screw it to the Ravagers, just going with a mass attack, it's not quite working. The spine crawler is actually dealing a ton of damage. Nerchio's being pushed back. Elazer's supply barely holding on to this. You say there's not defender's advantage, but I would argue there still is because there's no speed in play, so that's why he's got to pull back.
There's a very slight defensive advantage, right, about the spine crawler and like the queen, for instance, being back at home, but there's no time advantage that you usually get like on Frost. So for Elazer, here's where his defensive advantage might not be enough. As Nerchio continue quickly to attack, you know, there's not that 1 second where you can actually get like 2 drones because they're moving cross spawn Frost, which is a much more massive distance than gold base to gold base on Dasson. So it can be very scary. And luckily, it just so happens that Elazer, you know, did the damage and then left and was fine for it. He still has good drone counts. They both getting 3rd base at the same time, just in different locations. And Elazer's just straight up, you know, ahead. Drone, army. I guess tech isn't really coming to factor right now, but I guess the one thing he's missing is speed. Nerchio got speedlings, he didn't.
Roach is looking to push out, and that number is quite heavy, 18 over 10. The Ravagers could make a difference if they can land those perfect Corrosive Biles, but that's unlikely. Looks like those lings that ran up top, by the way, did get pushed off. And Elazer's actually sending another Ravager around, but Nerchio's already broken down the rocks, so I don't know what he plans to get for that. Maybe the Overlord?
Scouting? I'm not sure. Just sending it for reasons. But Nerchio, I mean, mind you, for him getting speed, that's really not so useless, especially as the bases continue to expand. That was an unnecessary amount of damage taken for Elazer.
Yeah, 6 workers went down. Seriously, like none. It should have been none. Quick note, by the way, because people were talking about some of the people knocked out. Unfortunately, Rainer is gone, but he did finish 3rd, 4th place, so he'll get $10 for his troubles. Winner of this gets 60, and loser gets 20. $100 each week for the Corsair Cup.
Elazer might have lost 7 drones, but he's still up about 10 army supply. Ooh.
That was a nice hit. That was a really nice hit.
Yeah.
Ronan Dude just hit for 14-month reso. Ace Kate's on his way in. Thank you so much. Did that play double for you, or is that just me again?
Just you.
Huh.
So lings do get in the back. That's what I was trying to talk about, is that him getting speed sometimes can be a disadvantage. It's a 100-100 going to something that could not possibly help you out, but in this case, it almost did. He might still lose the front 4, though.
It's the, I mean, the Roach count's really nice for Elazer. He's sitting on 18 over the 8 of Nerchio. Nerchio's Ravagers can kite for a bit of time with no speed. Ravagers can actually infinitely kite if done correctly, but again, that's a lot of ifs. Unfortunately, though, with Defender's advantage finally kicking back in, Nerchio's Roach count is starting to resurge, and we'll see if Elazer can hold this lead. The Corrosive Biles aren't really hitting much. The Transfuse has kept those Roaches alive, but Elazer's supply still looks pretty good. 18, 19 Roaches. Some of them are here on the front lines. Drones getting pulled out of Nerchio. You know this is getting desperate when.
Yeah. Elazer not exactly reinforcing the fastest because, again, it is slow Roaches, and if Nerchio could hold... Alright, they both lost an extreme amount of workers here. He does have tech. He has a lair, and he's going to have +1. And he still has speedlings that, again, could go into very key, you know, third bases, naturals, whatever, and kill a couple more drones, since they've both been evened out here, 25 to 23.
Yeah, it Clash collides. I thought Elazer was going to win with that push. To be honest, I'm actually really impressed that Nerchio was able to hold on.
It was very close, but luckily he just had enough reinforcements, and Elazer, more importantly, had like 0 reinforcements. It wasn't just that he had slow roaches moving across, is that some of them had to go back and clean up the lings, and then he just didn't have a lot of money to continue making units to push forward with that and actually use the reduced push time that is on Dasan Station.
Having a party over there. Lings pull back because he sees no drones at this base. I think he's waiting to specifically try and hit some workers and not just chip away the hatchery needlessly.
This is still very scary stuff. Nerchio, he needs to, I think, pull back to his queens, especially as Elazer's queen starts getting involved.
Yeah, I mean, the +1's really nice, but it's not going to make up for all this damage. 11-8 on the roach count, 3 Ravagers to 2. Still pretty tight when it comes to these engagements, and I mean, if Nerchio's fighting a full health army, maybe this +1 would make a world of difference, but he's already had that damage done to him, which kind of nullifies his +1. Aiming for the roaches in the backside. Again, Corsair Gear's being completely baited out of Elazer. Nerchio's starting to push through, though. That upgrade's gonna really start shining at these really low counts, and I think he's done it. GG.
Dang.
Congratulations, Nerchio. Game 1.
Yeah. Elazer's certainly making a couple mistakes here and there, you know, mostly in that gold-based defense. First, he lost the 5, which he probably should have only lost 1 or 2, and then he lost the 7 or 8 because he wasn't taking care of it, even though his army was right there.
Well, we'll go to game 2 momentarily. It will be Elazer's map choice. Small commercial break as it is the finals, guys. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in 2 minutes. All right, folks, we're back. Thanks for watching that commercial break as we hop into game 2 of these best of 5 finals for the Corsair Cup. Again, thanks to Corsair for helping make all this possible. Spawning here on the top left side of the map, he's currently down 1 game. It is the yellow Zerg player, Elazer.
In the bottom right, as the red Zerg, he is Nerchio.
Yeah, so many things in that game pointed in Elazer's favor to me. I really didn't think Nerchio would bring that back, especially as the game got closer to that roach fight, but again, Nerchio, man, he is one of the best foreigners, and for good reason. Elazer, though, I will say, this series could go 3-0 in the favor of Nerchio, but if every game played as well as that first game did, it would be a pretty close series.
Yeah. I mean, that game was really damn close, and there's just a couple mistakes, and those mistakes had a lot to do with the map and not the short rush distance. Yeah. It was the back attack of that gold base.
I love it, by the way. That game ends, and the first thing I see in chat is Protoss. Just like, even in ZvZ, adepts are ruining everything.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I expect maybe something similar on this game without the back attacks on the gold base, obviously. There's no gold base here. And that Elazer, I think his plan was not a bad one. In fact, it probably should have worked because he did a good amount of damage too, abusing the mineral lines, the gold base. But because he had to clean up lings and because he took about 10 drones worth of damage before he was committing to the push, he just barely didn't have enough, you know? I could certainly see on Frozen Temple, another pretty short map, the shortest besides Dasan Station, him going, or Nerchio going, like either one basically, one of the Zergs going for an all-in again, you know? The one that doesn't get a lair, doesn't get the missile attack upgrade, and the other one does. That's a very common theme in ZvZ, especially against players that are playing to the Roach style. Now, we just saw a best of 3 that was all about Lings and Ultralisk, and that did include Nerchio. So Nerchio could play that game, but it's actually more of a question of, do all of the stars align to play that type of game? Does Elazer also want to play the committed Ling-Banling game? And Frozen Temple is kind of an interesting one, I guess, to predict, because it has one more little... It has its own little trick to the map, like Dasan Station has its trick, and, you know, even King Sejong has its trick with the back rocks. Frozen Temple has a very short wall, a small wall, and you can make a wall very quickly, and then do a couple of different shenanigans. You can even skip speed and go straight to roaches. But in this game, we actually have Nerchio going for a very quick evolution chamber. We're going to get that quick upgrade for his speedlings, and Elazer goes for a Baneling nest, and a lot of lings. Starting again, it's very hard to call these things all-ins, because if it works, then it works, right? But he's being quite dedicated, you know? He's only at 19 drones, and Nerchio might not be expecting something like this, although he does pull a drone back that I think was thinking about going for a third. He actually has no scouting on Elazer's lings, except these ones, but the ones at the front. So, I don't know what Nerchio saw, but it's a good thing he did not go for that third, otherwise it'd just be dead and he'd be dead.
You know, what's interesting is normally these are bulked up in the main. I guess it's more typical you'd scout with the Overlord in the main than you would the natural, so bulking up in the natural does work. But man, this is something for Elazer where it is so dedicated, he really has to do damage. But the weird thing is, because he's brought all his lings across, okay, he saw that with the Overlord, he segments them off to catch these lings out of Nerchio. Because if he had just sent all his lings across the map, Nerchio would have, and probably certainly will have gotten some drone kills.
I don't think Nerchio can win this.
I don't either. I think Banelings are going to be too much.
Well, there's only 2 of them for now. The other lings got on top of the other one, so not so much.
I actually don't like that he uses on the drones just now.
He does have a lot more on the way, so he's probably like, why not?
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
The queens are going to go down, not his energy.
I would say a large amount of the lings are gone now for Elazer 2 is the problem. If Nerchio, I guess you're right, he's still dead.
Okay,
GG.
Yeah, I was wondering if he knew something was up, but he might have just been expecting, you know, a decent ling flood, not that type of ling on lane, which, by the way, I haven't seen that in a long time. Cutting that early on drones.
Yeah.
It's pretty old.
It's a little unconventional, and I guess it's one of those things where you're just like, okay, I didn't see it coming. Wipe it, just like walk it off and move on to that next game. That does tie it up 1-1. The game is so short, we're not going to play ads. We'll just get into this next game as soon as possible. I'm just going to put in-game screen on for a second. Nerchio had built the Pyramid of Poops again. A lot of people don't believe me when I tell them, like, yeah, pro gamers, like, spam poops all the time. I'm like, yeah, you're just being silly. I'm like, no, it happens. It happens frequently.
What a thing for them not to believe you.
Alright, well, let's see. The map is Apotheosis. Thank you for the invite. So one of the problems with my elbow healing is, as you guys can see, I've got some nice movement in it, and I can't twist it, but I can't stretch it out fully straight either, which is kind of annoying. And I feel like I'm at this point where I'm not going to be stupid about it, but it feels like, you know, when you need to crack a muscle or crack your knuckles, like if I just were to straighten it all the way, it would pop and it would feel so good. But I'm also worried that if I do that, it'll pop and break something that's healed, and it'll take like another 7 weeks to heal. So I'm being like such a baby about this arm right now. It's driving me nuts though. But okay, Apotheosis, game 3, and it's best of 5. It's like, oops, It's gonna take a long time to shake that habit. Anytime you guys see me do this thing at the top of the screen, it's because I'm getting ready to put my camera on zombie grubs. But I don't need to do that anymore if I'm the one observing. Feels weird, man. But okay, getting into game. Spawning the bottom right side. He just had everything tied up 1-to-1 on him. It is the red Zerg Nerchio.
The top left as the yellow Zerg. It is Elazer.
I will take solace in the fact that I have not mucked up with a microphone mute on my first day back, though, so that feels pretty good. Of course, there's still 1 to 2 games to mess that up with. Did you just applaud me? Thank you.
I gave you a round of applause, too.
A round of applause? Wouldn't that require...
Yeah, you know. You rush my camera.
Oh, you're... She's moving her hands in a circle. God damn it. Leave the Rifkin jokes to me, please. That's actually really clever. I like that.
Not if they include arms. I have to do it for you.
Oh, man, you are being unnecessarily mean right now. Wow. No, that's clever. I like that. Round of applause. I'll try. I'll have to.
Have you really not seen that before?
Never have I ever.
Oh, well, now you can't use it. Never have I ever.
Never have I ever given a round of applause. There you go.
There you go. There you go.
All right, so nothing too weird on this. I mean, this gold base being taken is the dynamic difference here, but I just want to point out Apotheosis, almost like the polar opposite of what Dawson's Station is. The rush distance here is so long, you really can't squeeze out anything too early. You really can't do anything too cheeky. It'll just take too long to get your reinforcements across the map. Especially if it's going to be anything Ling related. Even with their speed, it still takes quite the time to go from north to south.
It does. What seems to be Nerchio's jam on this map, though, is hoping his opponent takes the gold base. I've certainly seen this type of dynamic before on other maps and other metas and other matchups, and I even have had this type of thing happen to me before. Oh, that's a very early spine crawler. Wow. What I was going to say is that you are just the golden child of the meta. Like... you know that they're always going to go for the gold base, and you know you can tear the gold base down and kill them for it. And I feel like that's what Nerchio is on Apotheosis. He's like, yeah, might get to 3 bases. You might have a gold base. I might have a gold base, but I'm going to be the one that's going to be able to tear you down. Because he seems to really like this map.
I mean, this is a crazy dedication to get that spine crawler so quickly, and I think it's very expensive too. Especially because he threw that down without scouting anything. That was a 100% blind from him.
He might have been... I don't know. There are some very early Ling attacks after you get the gold base, which he only just really saw Elazer took. And I guess there's some possibility of early pools here, but it was super early, and I can't tell you exactly why he'd do it. Especially in the location, too. You know, this was out in the front. You'd be like, oh, he's just going to play a very defensive macro game. But this one feels like he was really worried about early Lings, and he needed to get to, like, really good SimCity, and he needed to protect the queen, and I don't know. Now it's going to have to be moved. Or it could be moved, rather, not have to be. As he sees a lot of Lings on the way. But he's just going to keep it here. I mean, Elazer's getting his own spine crawler, which I think Elazer getting his spine crawler makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, it's like a lot more justified.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, as long it's at the gold base, I think that makes a lot more sense because you're worried about Banelings rolling in. But
does he take the time to morph these? Nerchio's Overlord is not gonna see this just yet. Okay, he was going to wait and make a couple of Banelings, but the jig is up, so he runs in on top of the queen right away. She's in a pretty nice position, kind of safe and sound over here. Spine crawling a couple queens, all that's left to defend in the natural, and this is a little bit scary. Banelings moving on top of the drones, though. 5 go down. Not too bad. Not great, but not too bad.
It's a really good position that the spine crawler was in. I guess he'd been hit by this attack too often and just wanted to take care of it really easily. It's unfortunate that he didn't consider the Overlord drop, though, quick enough. And lost 5 drones then. And now he plants on his own gold base. That'll put him on 3 bases and still with a higher drone count. Even upgrades from melee here. And I just don't think Nerchio is going to get a lot done on the counter. He sends Lings across. He might get a queen. No, that's not enough Lings. Not even going to do anything. This is usually not the Nerchio on Apotheosis, but we'll see how it develops. Game's certainly not over. But Nerchio, I definitely think he needs to do some damage. He is up 9 workers, but his gold base isn't working yet.
Ooh, that spine might be able to deal with 1. Nice reaction times out of Elazer. Saw that coming.
Yeah. This is something that has caught so many Zergs off guard.
Not going to catch him, though. That was pretty nice. The drone pull was a good reaction timing, too. That was, like, right away. It's
insane how many times that very simple Baneling attack has killed really good Zerg players' drone lines from Nerchio. But Nerchio doesn't do anything.
+1 melee is done for Elazer. He should be able to tear down this hatchery and these queens easily. Full surround. Oh, no.
Nerchio might have had a drone lead, but no gold base to really utilize it as much as Elazer, and he sacrificed so much army for it. So much for that gold base.
He can focus this on the way out. I think he knows it, too. He's just backing away because he didn't want to have broodlings to fight with on top of these lings. But as the Bailey's trying to connect to the top of the drones, 9 go down.
I guess Nerchio's going to be able to hold thanks to the distance of the map here. Lasers reinforcement's really taken quite a long time to get over here.
He didn't kill the hatchery yet. He still could pretty easily. I mean, that's so low, but if Nerchio actually gets the mine off of this to any degree, it'll be pretty nice for him. It's not going to get to, though.
4 taps. I was going to ask, maybe Elazer goes for an all-in, because he's still only on 32 drones, but no, he goes for a lair. He's got some Lings, and I think Nerchio just lost, like, 15 Lings to a Baneling. So there's, like, red, and then there wasn't red.
Yeah, down to 8 supply. My bad, guys. Watching the drop Overlord, because I wasn't sure if there's anything inside of it. Banelings do run into the natural base. 7 more down. I mean, this is... I mean, kudos, but...
GG, wow! GG. Nerchio usually looks so good in that map, but... From the get-go, that spine crawler, a little questionable. Wonder what he was thinking.
So I'm not sure if this guy is still in chat. He was asking about the transition scenes. So to play that again, because it looks cool. So you like hop in and hop out. I'm assuming this is the little graphic you're talking about. Cybert is the one who made these. He's awesome. I was actually really happy that we could pay him to do it as well. As bad as business as Reddit wants to assume that we are, and as bad at making money, we do try and spend money on everything we can. Like, we pay people for art assets, we pay people for transitions, we pay people to admin. We try to pay everybody that we possibly can when it comes to StarCraft 2. But anyways, 2-1. Now the score. We're going to a small commercial break. 2 minutes while we get into game number 4. This could be it, though. See you guys soon. All right, we're back, and that's going to conclude the cast for today. So real quick, guys, we're going to host somebody after this is all done. Hopefully you stick around and give them some love. But thank you guys so much for joining us on the cast today. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully the observing wasn't too bad. I know there definitely be some things I noticed I want to improve on, but getting back into it for the first time since the accident, it wasn't too bad. I thought it'd be a little bit more difficult, to be honest. I went riding my bike for the first time yesterday since the accident as well, and that hurt a lot. So learned not to do that again anytime soon. My wrist is definitely not good enough to support my body weight, apparently. What do you know? But thank you so much, Zombie Grub, as always, for joining me on these casts. Thank you guys for tuning in. And, of course, we had some very generous donators today. Thank you guys so much for being awesome. And, of course, big thanks go to, last but not least, our sponsors down below. You can click on all the links, learn about all the information. Corsair, obviously, being the primary sponsor. You can see a lot of the gear wonderfully displayed on this beautiful overlay. If you're considering buying either peripherals or, hell, even if you're going to buy their other stuff, you want to build a computer, get some RAM or cases or whatever the case may be, there you go, no pun intended. Make sure to check out their website, but do it through the links down below so they know you came from BaseTradeTV. G2A gives us games for cheap, gives you guys games for cheap. Make sure to use the code BASE on checkout. Chairs for Gaming will get you one of these awesome DX Racer chairs. This thing's about a year and a bit old. Zombie Grubs is older because I had to replace mine a while ago. But either way, they're pretty sturdy chairs. They last you a while. They're fairly comfortable. And, of course, we spend hours and hours and hours sitting in them every day. So consider buying one if you live in Canada or the United States. And you can use promo code BaseTradeTV on either the U.S. or the Canadian version of the website. The code will work on both. It'll save you $20 and give you free shipping and handling. And then last but not least would be Yord, woodwatches.com/base. Hopefully we can advertise them a little bit more as holidays come closer. But a quick thing for us and the rest of the month. Like we've got... last but not least, sorry, forgot the Amazon affiliate links down below. If you shop on Amazon, if you do any sort of casual shopping there, click on those links first. It won't cost you a penny, but it'll give Zombie up a couple of bucks, help her make her way through this harsh and cold world. But yeah, we got some stuff coming up in the future, and not just stuff for casting, but we're also going to be going to TwitchCon towards the end of the month. Then, of course, there's BlizzCon, like almost the following month. It's like the end/start of November. Or end of October, start of November, whatever that area. The point of it is we're going to be casting as much as we can, but we're also going to be starting on some Overwatch stuff come next month. So I really want to emphasize that. We know we've been talking about it. Every time we bring it up, something happens. I get in a big bike accident for one. But ideally in October, we should be hosting a couple Overwatch tournaments, and I'm looking forward to that quite a bit. Hopefully you guys will follow us through, but I do want to stress and emphasize, because every time we talk about this, there seems to be concern. It will not cut back on our StarCraft 2. Not currently, at least. Maybe in the future it'll fuck StarCraft 2, right? I don't know. But right now, the plans are StarCraft's still the priority. We're planning our events around our StarCraft schedule, not vice versa. So you'll still get to see a lot of good StarCraft stuff. But I hope that you'll enjoy the Overwatch stuff that we put on as well, as I think it'll be quite good. But I think that wraps things up. Zangrub, do you have any final comments, questions, concerns? Why am I saying it like that? Do you have any final things you want to say to the stream before we go?
Just follow me on Twitter, @ZG Gaming.
Follow me on Twitter @Riff_Kings. Make sure to follow the channel. Check out our YouTube, youtube.com/BaseTradeTV. Guys, YouTube. Let's get that YouTube number up. We're getting so close to 10K subs. But that will wrap things up. So I know a lot of people were messaging me during the broadcast, or messaging BaseTradeTV, asking specifically to talk more about this whole Kespa Cup thing. I don't want to get into it. It is a huge discussion. There's a lot of polarized points of view on things that are legit on both sides of the argument. The end of the day, we don't want to pay somebody else when they should be paying us. We don't want to have to keep our schedule open until the very last second to be told yes or maybe even no. So for us, we're not even going to try and cast any of the Kespa Cup related qualifiers, not the Korean one, not the European one, not the North American one. I have officially withdrawn our application, so we're just going to focus on our own stuff this week. I do hope you guys enjoy the Kespa Cup. If they do find somebody to cast it, I hope it's somebody good enough that you guys will enjoy it. But I do hope you guys will also still tune into BaseTradeTV. We don't plan to run things over or conflicting with, because we don't want players to have troubles, but I do think we'll have a little bit of crossover with the foreign qualifiers that are coming up. So again, hope you guys join us for that. But thanks again for tuning in, everybody. I'm gonna totally brown nose here. Nate won my heart with some very nice tweets, so I think we'll go give him a host. If you guys want to stop by Nathaniel's stream, make sure to say what's up. I think he's actually doing this week's mutation as we speak for the co-op stuff. So have a good one, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow / later this night, 3 a.m. Pacifically, for the Alima League. So bye-bye.
Bye.